Rousey, we're here Boxing Day, 2-1 victory over Stocksbridge. Give us your thoughts on that 90 minutes of football.
Yeah, it was one of them, weren't it? I thought, in terms of us overall play, I've just said to the players, I don't think we've played that well. I thought first half we were passive, we were 2 yards off everything. We weren't squeezing the distances right, weren't getting the distances between each other right. We were losing all second balls, and we're giving them opportunity to just spin us down the sides and turn us down the sides, which is ultimately what they want to do, and it's their game plan, and it sets them away on the counter. And then what you do is, instead of losing, having to make a 3-yard run in central areas and recover the ball, you're making 40 and 50-yard runs back towards your own net, and you lose the territory, you lose momentum. And I thought, first half we were poor. We went in there, we talked about it, and just said we've got to have more desire. We've got to be more aggressive in coming forward and winning the first contacts. We've got to be more aggressive on getting on the second balls, and not running around the pitch just doing daft things, but competing and making sure we compete better and do things better. And ultimately, that's really all we've done. Second half, we've come out. Burnsy comes out, second half, wins an header that was 50 yard. We chase it down, we win a corner, we put the corner in, it goes out the other side, we throw it in, and we score just by showing more desire. And that's the thing we talked about at half time. And then the second one, obviously Mikey does what he does, goes weaving through people and gets brought down, and Adam tucks a penalty away well, and we come away with a 2-1 win on a game of 2 halves. Really, I thought they were probably better than us first half, we were better than them second half, and ultimately we've got the 3 points.
After losing against Concert last time out in the league, obviously we had a little bit of a friendly against Rossington last week. How important do you think that the first half of getting rid of any rust that we might have had over this period, and then the second half we seem to kick into a bit more of a gear?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Concert game, we looked like what we were. I thought the entire game, we probably played in their final third, but we lacked any energy to create anything, and Concert done us twice on the counter really, and deservedly they executed the game plan that they came to do. There were soft goals from our perspective, but obviously from that game we decided that we needed to get a friendly in there, get some minutes into people's legs, and probably get them playing a little bit, because some players had been 3 weeks without a game. The players who'd been starting, the rest maybe 4 or 5 weeks, and we wanted to just keep the group match fit and make sure we had the energy to obviously do what we need to do in the second half of the season. And I think you saw today there probably the culmination of playing that game, kept us nice and bright throughout the game, and maybe a little bit of the game being called off on Saturday, which I'm not sure how that was called off, but that game being called off and obviously ultimately keeping us fresh for this game made sure that we finished stronger and got the 3 points. But yeah, overall I don't think the overall assessment is I don't think we're great. Did we earn it? Yeah, we earned it for a second half performance. Can we be a lot better with the ball and in possession? 100% we can, and we've shown that this season. But another test will come forward Saturday, and we've got to be ready for that.
We've touched on a number of interviews this year about the resilience within the group. Obviously going down 1-0 at half time, there's a Stocksbridge that are fighting for every point towards the bottom end of the table. How important and how big was that reaction that you got from the lads?
I'll be honest, I'm sick of going in at half time 1-0 down. I think that's the last 3 home games, isn't it? Liverpool's Concert and today, and obviously we seem to be making an habit of dominating the game, which is what we ultimately did. I thought Stocksbridge were probably a little bit more hungry than us, but the entire half were played in their half, and they've got away once on the counter and scored. And it happened 2 weeks ago, it happened a week ago, and ultimately we've got to stop making that habit of doing that. But like we said, we have got resilience in the group, that's never in question. I would prefer us to show that more at 0-0 and make sure we're going in front at half time rather than having to do the hard yards all the time. But if someone offers me going in at 1-0 and then finishing the game at 2-1, you take it every week, won't you? So we'll not be too critical, but overall assessment, we can be a lot better than we have been, but we're pleased with the desire, we're pleased with the work rate and the fitness levels, and the players have probably earned the 3 points.
Next up, another Yorkshire derby, this time West Yorkshire, Ossett. What's your thoughts on that game?
They're a side that have just parted with the manager. Obviously the manager's just departed and the game we're off today. So obviously they'll be a little bit fresher than we will, and we might have to make a few changes to the starting 11 and maybe a few changes to the squad and make sure we keep things fresh. But ultimately, like you say, similar to these, they're fighting for every point. They're wanting to win as many points as possible. And usually, when a manager does depart, what you get is a little bit of a bounce from a group. So we've got to be wary of that and make sure we go and execute our game plan. But as we saw earlier in the season against them, if we do go and do what we do well, then obviously we can go confident and make sure we take the points.
Brilliant. Well done.